Well, good day everyone. Welcome to Flying with Mike. We're going to try this for a second time, going from Denver to Atlanta. Currently we are parked on the ramp at Denver, cargo ramp that is, and we are going to start with a cold and dark plane so we don't have to refresh y'all. Y'all are going to watch it as we go through. So we are in the cockpit right now, just making sure everything's going as planned. And then once we get to where we're going to enter the flight plan, we'll go through a very quick pre-brief, and then continue on. So we're going to do the acceptance first, and this flow is all haphazardly over the place. So bear with me. We're also having some troubles with the Zoom for some reason. Keeps wanting to back me out all the time, and it kind of been upsetting me all day. But we're going to get in enough of that belly aching and just get this plane finally into the air. So the procedure flow here goes utility. There, as you can see, just unzoomed us again. So we're going to click the left and right utilities, click the battery switch, then we're going to come over here to the standby power, put it in auto. Once we have those done, we come down the panel to the demand pumps, make sure they're off. I click the switches on below them. Okay, next up on the list, we come down to the bottom panel or the middle panel, MCP and bottom half. What we basically are doing here is we're making sure the flaps and gear extension are all, these are the emergencies, are guarded and closed. Gear lever down, flap lever should be at 0 and showing 0 here. We don't show the flaps, so that should be a good sign. I'm just going to set something here so when they come alive we'll be good. All right, then we're going to check our parking brake, make sure it's on, and it right now is not. So we're going to pull it back and it's now on. Then we're going to get our ground power. To do that, we're going to first, is it going to let me? No, we'll go over here real quick. I'm going to get rid of this column here. I know the real pilots probably wish they could do that, but well, welcome to Flight Sim. We're going to go to ground handling, click select. Ground services, click the line select there. Then click the line select by ground power. Last action's ground power. From here, come up top. You'll see they are now available. Click them in. I'm going to come back down, put this thing back on menu. All right, with them on, that, as you can see, it still hasn't powered up. These are still dark, as is this. So we'll come up, continuing on. So we'll do the oxygen mask. I'm sorry, that was right over here. Sorry if you're getting dizzy. Oxygen mask check would be here if that proper gauge was in here. And in the airplane they would. Emergency lights armed right here. Should be guarded as well. Nav and logo lights on. Bus ties. Now this is what's going to bring power to those gauges. And we're putting the disconnects on as well. Finally, set the cockpit lighting. And I just set it just in case we're dark when we land now. Since this plane should have been airborne 3.5 hours ago, I've had delay after delay after delay, none of which was ATC. So we're going to get things going. And I got those other two switches on just to have them on. So that takes care of the cockpit acceptance. We're going to come back down. We're going to actually switch into this, see if it's going to do anything funky with it. We're going to pull SimBrief up, move it over. Hang on just a second. And get, it wasn't supposed to do that. There it goes. All right, so let me get Sim Toolkit brought over. And we're going to get right into that pre-flight brief. Everything's going to be what I call rapid fire here, folks. So try to stay up. Questions, hit me in the chat. Bob's Gaming, I know you were there last we were up. Welcome to you. Hope you're coming back. Hope you have time. If not, understand the time zones. All right, so here is our routing, and I think I put it in there. No, I did not. Let me do that real quick. There it is. It's also in the chat. But anyway, we're going to fly the XP11 departure to Deuce, then to Wichita, Memphis, and then 2 fixes before our initial onto the Gavin 1 arrival. Again, 26 right. That should be 26 left. If I'm reading my arms right. Yeah, 26 left. All right, hang on. We'll make that quick change here, and you'll get to see how I do that. Okay, so we're on the flight planning page. We clicked this icon here for flight planning. There's our flight from, what is it called? SimBrief. And I just got to put this in. Oop. Where's our airplane? Nope. There it is. POSCON. And what we're going to do is just make this an L. Hit update. Update. Now we're going to be set up for 26 left, and that's what it's going to show here. May not show in, it will not show in the plan because it's set up for 26 right. We're only talking about 1,000 feet between the two, so we're not worried about it in the actual flight planning. So, real quick, Denver's 5,434 feet above sea level, runway 17 right, 173 degrees is the heading on the runway. That runway we will take off on. The length is 12,000 feet. Every runway at Denver is at least 12,000 feet long. That's so when they have the incredible snows, all aircraft can take off on any runway at the airport, and they could have as many as 3 an option for landing, 3 an option for takeoff. Also in the summer when it's hot, being a mile up, that could be a performance issue, so giving them 12,000 hopes to help eliminate some of that. All right, next up is the loadout here. We're going to be using this information. If I can find my piece of paper, there we go. All right, so what we got to do is load our 747 with 62,235 kilograms of freight. There's going to, in that number is built in 8 passengers that I put on. So that'll give us our ramp and 0 fuel weight that you see there. Then we're going to block fuel at 35,624. We're going to try 35.6. Mindful, we may have to go to 36 in the system. We'll show you how to do all of this, folks. We're cold and dark and going with you. So that's what we're set up for. Performance will be cost index of 100. Cruise altitude 37,000. The only intermittent altitudes to that are with the departure, if any. Okay, moving over. Real quick, looking at Atlanta, it's 1,000 feet above sea level. 26, actually, I think that thing just moved. That's kind of wild. Um, 20, runway 26 left, heading 275. Here's the radio information that should automatically populate once we get in range of Atlanta. Length of that runway, almost 10,000 feet long. Okay, and here's the sloping and the glide slope. Almost every ILS in the U.S., I say almost, there's probably a couple that aren't, are 3 degrees. Okay, moving on real quick, the weather here in good old Mile High City is right now variable at 4 knots. 10-mile visibility, few clouds at 9, few clouds at 20,000, and temperature of 12 degrees Celsius. We'll take it here. I wish it was here in St. Louis. We just got to 1 degree Celsius, folks, after the last week of being, down in the minus teens to minus 20s here. It's been cold here and snowy. So we would take that temperature. And Denver, blow it east, please. Make sure it gets to us here in St. Louis. All right, so moving on, the altimeter is 2973. We'll double check that. 2973. Okay, and let's go over to the other side of the flight planning here. Here is all of our basic information. We're in November 618 Bravo Charlie, 747-400 BCF. That's Bravo Charlie Fox. No nose lift on this aircraft. It's only side door. So aircraft is already loaded. We just got to make it on our paperwork here. Coming down, cost index of 100. You can see when I planned to get out of here, folks. That didn't happen. Obviously, because right now it's 19. It's when we were supposed to be landing. But anyway, we're going to put that all aside. It's 893 miles. Average wind still 275 at 107. I'm going to write that down because we need that also. Okay, so 275/107. Okay. It's a pretty good tailwind we're going to have for the most part. It's going to offset to a quartering wind, but it's still a good push for us. All right, coming down here is our first off, our flight level and any step climbs we would have. We have none. We go straight to 37,000 and then come down from there. Fuel breakdown, here's our 35,624 pounds. And it breaks down up here, trip contiguous, never mind, and contingent, thank you. And then our what it takes to get to our alternate plus what we need on the ground at the alternate for 45 minutes. So I'm going to plug in 13. Okay, a lot of information I know coming at you folks and not a lot of breaths. All right, so here's our route again. This is XP11 to Doozy, direct Wichita, direct Memphis, direct HUTCC, direct KN SAW, direct Russia. Gavin 1, planning 26 left. See, it won't change over here. We're still going to Nashville as our alternate. Pencil, direct Jaguar to SWFFT2. It's about a 220-mile run. We'll barely make 25,000 feet, if that, before we have to come down. Scheduled 2-hour 26-minute run. I'm sorry, 2-hour 50-minute run. We're going to try and do this in 2.5 hours. And then here is our weight breakdown. 8 passengers. We're actually putting on 61,400-ish pounds of cargo to bring us up to that payload of 62,235. Alrighty, just trying to keep all my screens going here. All right, folks, so there you go. Real quick look at our winds and significant. Here is the route. Pretty much a straight line, a little off here. Again, we'll see the route here. Jet stream cutting to the north, jet stream cutting to the south. We're right in between. We could have a little bit of a bumpy ride. And then for our flight level or close to it, first one, this is 34,000. You can kind of see those strong winds that are indicated as our average. And there's pretty much out of the west, pretty much going to the east until a little bit around the St. Louis northward area, maybe Evansville. But anyway, you get the idea. We're pretty much got a wind from the west going to the east at about 100 knots the whole way. 39,000, pretty much the same deal. So that's where we're getting that average wind, 275 at 107. Pretty brisk wind. Those of you going across the North Atlantic are very familiar with that. Helps you to go to Europe, sucks to come back because you got that 100-knot wind to deal with. So, same thing in the U.S. All right, so there you go, folks. There's our pre-flight brief. The only other thing I want to show, we're going to come up to the live map so you get an idea where we are on the airport. We're all the way at the southern end. This is the cargo area of parking, and that is located right off 17 right, all the way at the bottom of that 12,000-foot runway. So we'll come out of here, kick it down a notch, kick it up a notch. It takes a little bit for it to catch up. There you go. Now you see your taxiways. But anyway, we're going to basically come out of here, go north, 12,000 feet. It's about a mile and a half. And halfway of the entire airfield complex to the top of our runway to take off. Then again, you can personally see the METAR again right here. And there's our routing on takeoff, kind of like that. I haven't even looked at it. So when we do our departure brief, it will be my first look at it to see what the heck we're going to be doing on this XP11 out to Doozy. So you can kind of see how the runways are all split apart. And it's done intentionally. They're actually a mile apart here. These are the only ones that are not. So you would have takeoff or landing. And that would be dependent more of the shoving to the 17s. But anyway, you see how this airfield is really good for them in the winter. They've got all the runways available. They're far enough apart. Everything can work. Okay. So there you go, folks. That is the pre-flight brief. So let's get back into the cockpit. And what I'm going to do is set this up while we're on the ground, and probably for a lot of the flight, you're going to see it across the top there, the information. But anyway, that's just so that you can see what the aircraft's doing, where we're flying to from. I'm not even sure if it says POSCON or not. We are on POSCON waiting for our squawk, which may or may not come. We'll try it again as we're ready to go. It's always neat to see a train going by. But anyway, so let's get back in. We're going to now do the pre-flight flow or pre-flight checks, however you want to look at it. Before we do that, let's get our lighting completely set up here. Same thing over here. Turning everything up as high as we can. Okay, there we go. All right, so pre-flight flows start back up at the top of the panel. We're going to click Align, then Nav on our IRS, Inertial Navigation System. Okay, all three are moved over. Make sure your electric engine controls are set to norm and there's a guard over them. Okay, we're going to test the fire protection system. There we go. Do it again. Okay. Just noticed some things I wanted turned on. Okay. Coming, the next check is the interrupt switch, which is down here. Turns all the lights on. Then passenger oxygen. You see how I mean it's haphazard? We're going all the way over to this panel. It's guarded and on. Flight deck lights. We've already taken care of those for the trip. And the ones below. Stabe trim. Again, haphazardly. Now we're going all the way down here. That is these two switches here. They are in auto and guarded. Now we're going to set up the FMS. All right, so to do that, folks, first off, there's the time to align, 7 minutes. So all we got to do is click FMS, pilot route list. Now I click initial reference here. Should have gone to that page to start with, to be totally honest. But SPEC'S has been doing this for 2 years and it's a phenomenal plane. I'm not going to argue with them. Totally, I think it's a great plane, and I'm going to set that for. There we go. All right, as you can see, it's frustrating. Okay, so we check our data, mainly our nav data, which is right here, current to February 25th of this year. And we'll click pause init, which is basically your position initialization. On this page, I'm going to zoom in. Actually, we could well almost do that. Yeah, we'll leave it. Anyway, we'll zoom in for purposes right now. KDEN, or KDEN. Then we're going to take our position there. That's our GPS position. And we are good to go. So we'll click over to route. Unfortunately, the 737s put the destination at the bottom. We have to type it in. And for some reason, this damn thing keeps in and out on us. So I'm sorry about that, folks. KATL. And please forgive my language. I'm a little frustrated at a whole lot of things that have gone wrong today. And I'm hoping to get this flight in. All right, so we're going to zoom back in for y'all because for some reason the sim is being a pain in the rump today. Put in our flight number. Sorry, folks. It's really frustrating the heck out of me. All right, so then we're going to click. This is something they need to address. This light needs to be a lot brighter, maybe a darker yellow, something to stand out so people know to click it. All right, just a note to SPEC'S. So now with the initial part of the flight plan taken care of, when the IRS align, they won't tell us to set anything. All right, so now we look for on our departure arrival thing here. We're going to click the departure, which is Denver. Select our runway, which is 17 right. And then we're going to find the XP11 departure. Stand by. I want to make sure by pulling it up over here on my other screen. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Doggone it. Everything that could go wrong today keeps going wrong. Sorry, folks. I'm really trying to keep my attitude that's really gone downhill today in check. Usually gosh dang it, this is starting to get old. Okay. All right, so we're at XP7. That is this one. We're going to doozy for the transition. Execute. F plan right here takes us right back to route. Clicking next, we start pumping these in. Now we already got doozy, so all we got to put in is ICT, which is Wichita. And when we get a bunch like this, you could do it a couple of ways. I just go with the one that it should be, 300 miles away. That is the frequency, but I am going to double check. Okay, 113.8 is correct. All right, next up is Memphis, and that is delineated Mike Echo Mike. Let me check something. Sorry, folks. I have a discrepancy over here. Yeah, we're direct Memphis. Okay. Direct H Hotel Uniform. Let's just keep up here. Tango. Charlie Charlie. Kensaw, which is KN SAW. And I don't know why. These are like real close on top of each other almost. But it's what they file. And then our final is Russia. And that is going to be R as in Romeo, Uniform, Sierra, Sierra. And that's going to be an alpha. Okay. All right. Execute. Route. Legs. Wait, let me go ahead and put in our arrival. Now, all I'm going to put in for the arrival, folks, this is how I'm doing it. Just this portion. Just the Glavin 1 and the transition. Execute. I'll show you why. Well, mainly being when we get over to Atlanta, if, say, the runways flip on us to the 8s, we can make that change en route. All right, so we're going to go through here real quick, looking for discontinuities. So we're going to click that, click it there, click execute, previous page Kensaw, which is correct, and this is really frustrating, folks, and then Russia, and then right into it. All right, so we'll come back to the route page. Everything's lined up correctly. We're going to go to the performance page. This part is pretty much up to you. I have a couple programs I use to help me out. I have Professional Flight Planner X. I don't know if it says that for the other programs out there, Prepared and X-Plane. So I have that, and it'll do the performance primarily out of PMDG. If the aircraft have performance files or stuff that are on, you can put those in to use them. And that's what I'm going on, are PMDG numbers. However, these are so old, it's pathetic. So what we're going to do is come up to the, I have another one called TopCat. None of this I can show you. It's not because, oh, they're super secret. No, it's because I can't share the screen for you. Sorry for that. Now, one thing we do have to do, seeing this, we'll get ready to put the fuel in here in a minute. But we're going to go ahead and go through that by doing this, clicking Edit, and zeroing out our fuel. Done. Apply. We want it zeroed, and you'll see why here in a second. But for the performance pages, and it doesn't matter anymore. I'm tired of dealing with it. On TopCat, what we do, for those of you that have it, can follow along, click TLR, then click Takeoff Landing, do a weather update. Okay, then we show the variable winds. So what we'll do is come over to the ACARS program that you can activate in here, and Okay, so they're calling us to a takeoff 2 of 39 degrees. I'm going to sideline that for just a second. We'll come back to this performance initialization. We got to get the plane fueled. So we're going to come down to this one now. Okay, so we just, if you didn't see, what we did is we clicked ground handling, select again. We're going to click packs or cargo. Now this is the passenger loadout that you can put in there by however many people you want in the areas. Freight by either pallet, container, or bulk weight. Or you click next, next, and it takes you to the freight. Again, this is in kilos. What I've got done here, let's put in 1 pallet, zone A, 3,763 pounds. These are default numbers, I think. I don't think I can change those. 2 pallets of 8 there. Next one's 2 pallets of 8. I think I added 1 last time. We'll find out here. And then 3 pallets. All right. So now that's brought us up to 33,000. Well, I would have showed it to you if it won't bounce back. 33. Oh boy, this flight. This has just really driven me crazy today, folks. All right, so 33,900 kilos are in it. We need 62,235. Now we can put the rest in the forward and aft. What I did is,
which is from Denver, running northwest departure, direct to destination, Q.
okay. So we put another pallet in here, and I think I did another one in that one too. Yep, there we go. All right, so now we break it down into what we're going to throw here. Now we could do it by pallets. You see that 1 pallet's 37. I forget what a container is. So what we're going to do instead is put in 9,000 for, I'm going to actually do 9,500. Okay, so 60,000 brings us up within 2,000. So oh, put in too much. There, 62,200 is loaded. Beautiful. We now have the weight of the plane correct. Now, let's go back to the ground handle by clicking the bottom. Click ground service. We're going to put in our fuel now. Now, we are ready to go. We're going to go ahead and request the services.
Service trucks coming.
And now you heard it, see it, service trucks are on the way. Let's take a look outside. Here comes the car. Don't see a fuel truck yet. I don't know where they're coming from. Last time the fuel truck came through all those pallets, just drove right over them. It was awesome. The galley truck last time, oh, here comes the fuel truck right there, came the same way. So stand by. Okay, sorry for that quick break, folks. Here comes the cavalry. This should be our fuel truck. I don't know if that will be, but there'll also be a galley truck. So anyway, fuel's already loading even though the truck's not here. So there you go. That gets us loaded. And we are now loaded with 36,000. So let's come back. And 36,000's in. Let's take a look. See, there's the fuel truck pulling up. Things are just not moving well today. I don't know why. And you can see the fuel truck went up. I'm going to check some things. Just really aggravating today. And the galley truck might be coming here soon. We'll do a quick scan. I don't see it. Wait a minute. There it is. That may be the galley truck coming. He'll come in, hit this one. He may hit the one in the back, and you can already see the belt loader is up. Oh, this thing is really aggravating today. Anyway, the galley truck will come into this door and possibly the one in the back. Don't ask me why, but it might. All right, so we're going to just let them do what they do. And we're going to truck on because we want to get airborne. So we're going to go next. Click into zero fuel weight by clicking it. Reserves we said would be 13. Cost index 100. If it will stay zoomed in long enough. Oh my God, what a day. Like I said, I'm almost to the point of just saying to hell with it. Throw it all out the damn window. Say, I'm done with you. Going back to FSX. All right, so we got all of that loaded. Okay, so 36 is in. 246.8 for the zero fuel, 13 reserves, 100 for our cost index. Fly level 370 is where we're going to cruise. Step size 2000. All right, folks. Next step is to click thrust limit. This is what I got from the ACARS. And looking at it, I'm going to confirm it another way. That is no way in heck. The winds have switched that much. Hang on a second. We may have had a major wind change here. Because Top Cat's showing the winds at 350 at 4, which technically would fall under variable. TAF is saying 18 to 24, which is right now, 200 at 12. We're going to stay as we're programmed. Boy, I would sure love the 3.5s. Don't get me wrong. All right, so we're going to stick with it. Move over. Hang on. So that puts us to TO2. I'm going to select 39 for our select temperature. We're going to do a climb 1 instead of 2. All this stuff is doing, these are just derating our engine from full power back to a power setting that doesn't, it lessens it being at full power. So that way you're not getting as much wear and tear on it. Same in your climb. And then at a certain level, it's supposed to wash out to where it moves to climb. And just like it does on takeoff. When you take off and your gear up, it'll be climb until you get your flaps to 5 and above the acceleration level. Then it'll switch into climb 1 from takeoff in this situation, and then wash out at whatever flight level it's set at. And that usually is when it's even, and then the climb will keep it going at that power setting. Usually. All right, so we're almost done here, folks. Okay, so last step here is the takeoff reference. We're still going with flaps 20. Just plug it in there. These numbers will not be right. But we're going to put in 139er into V1. We can check that it's in there. See, didn't change here. I wish they'd get that fixed. 145, but I don't know what's involved, so I can't help them out there. That's our rotate speed. Gosh dang it, really irritating today. Okay, V2, 152 now. Was a little lower, but or a little, actually it's come up a little. That's good. Okay, then we click the line select by CG, 4.6. My program's calling 4.8. We're good to go. All right, folks, that takes care of the FMS. Hallelujah. We're going to still deal with this stupid zoom in, zoom out crap. So please bear with me, and I will try to bite my tongue as hard as I can here to not really curse like I like to at this damn thing. All right, so we're now to the portion of the checklist where we do the MCP. I'm just checking some things out here. All right, so now we're to where we set our MCP. That is this portion of the eyebrow is what they call it. All right, so what we're going to be doing, we set our speed. Now for me, I set the speed to indicated V2 plus 10. So that's 162 in this case. Runway heading, we're going to double check, is 173. Whoops. We'll double check that that's set right. Gosh dang it. Like I said, it's going to plague us the whole flight. And make sure the bank limit's set right. Now we're going for the altitude. Okay, so they're set now. The MCP, the only thing left to do is turn the flight directors on. That is set. So we're going to move on and get this thing going because we're really dragging butt here. And it's really starting to affect me. All right, so moving on, hydraulics. They're up here. All we're going to do is turn on number 4 to auxiliary. The rest can't. So that's all we're going to do there. Next up, they want the fuel pumps on. And I'll explain why only those are being clicked on. Come back down here, click fuel, and I'm going to zoom in and hope it stays there. Nope, it won't. Anyway, you can see it's pumping from the tanks directly to the engine that they're with. If we were a lot more fuel, these cross feeds would we could close them now, but it's not. It's in tank to engine right now. We bring it up to say 40, 50 kilograms. We'll have fuel in the overrides, and that would help us there. And it just basically allows this whole pipe to be green, which means it's open and they're balancing each other. Once we get below that level, they're on each other's engines. All right, so fuel pumps and cross feeds are set. Audio system, this is where we start bouncing all over the place. Audio is normal. Voice recorder, we don't. I don't see it on here, so I don't know where they've got it hiding. Anti-ice will keep off. Now we're going to drop right over here, window heat on, and all that's doing is like an anti-fog. Yaw damper over here on. Outflow mains, these two switches are off. Make sure these look like they're open, and they're partially open, which is good. Midway open, actually. Air conditioning set. That is our PAX temp, flight deck temp. So cargo deck is auto, flight deck's auto, and the bottom cargo is auto. Okay, hang on, I gotta actually move this up. Okay, so now we go to trim air, and our recirculating fans are turned on. We'll keep the cargo heat off for now since it's 12 degrees outside. It's in the 60s. We'll get our ECS to normal and our high flow on. Pack 1 is already on. Isolation valves are on. Pack 2 and 3 are off. Engine bleeds are on. EFIS control panel. I'm just trying to see where the APU comes on it before start. Okay, so we're coming back down to here. Now the EFIS panels. That is this panel right here. And I don't remember what the altimeter was, so bear with me. 2973, okay. Let me get the other one set real quick. Okay, and that automatically sets this one. Okay, now we're going to just zoom in. We're going to do it this way, knowing it's going to punch us out a few times. All right, so now for the decision height, which is what we're set on now, we're going to run this one to 100. Maybe. Like I said, maybe. Okay, this one is now set. Let's switch it now for the borrow or MDA. That's this bottom one. It's a little easier because it's got to go to 5,800 or something like that because our airfield is at 54. And at least this is faster than PMDG. You knew that had to be coming. Holy crap. My frustration level is just to a point where I'm about ready to call this flight. All right, the sad thing is we got to come over to this one and do it here. Maybe. Sorry, folks, for my frustration. This damn, I tell you, FSX is starting to look 100% better than this thing right now. Gosh dang it, it's starting to really irritate me. If only I could bring FSX on here, folks. Scenery or not, X-plane, you're about to be thrown out into the snow. Okay, this really ticks me off. Airplane's not bouncing around like it used to, and yet it still will not set. Okay, finally got that crap set up. All right, so we're now, EFIS is set, displays are set, standby instrument set, speed brake lever is down. That is this lever over here. Thrust controls are down and closed, as are the thrust reversers. Fuel cutoff switches are in cutoff. Radios. Let me get these flipped around. And fueling is complete. So we'll just do it this way. Let me see if we've ever gotten a code. Hang on, let me see if I can get lucky here and pull up ZDV. One last try for a All right, we haven't gotten anything new. All right, well, folks, at least on the bright side, we're 15 minutes from our scheduled pushback this go around, but we're not getting anything out of them, so not going to worry about it too much. Okay, let me check the map. Okay, good. All right. Well, oh well, it is what it is. So we're going to continue on. All right. Radios, auto brakes, we're not going to set till we taxi. We're waiting on our clearance, however, not very long. And flight deck door is now closed, which does not matter. So that brings us, folks, hallelujah, to the before start checklist. Now, for this, we're going to be starting up the APU. So we're going to go up to the top. We got our fuel pumps on. Moving that over to start. Take a couple seconds. Once it's started, we'll turn on the APU gen. And hopefully there they are. APU gen's coming on. Now we can't, you know how I clicked ground power attach or whatever it was? I can't disattach, you know, pull it apart, pull it off. So now we'll go ahead and turn on our cargo heat. Gens are on. We'll turn the APU bleed on. That has to be on, folks, for starting. Okay. Fuel quantity still 36,000. Good. Shipping papers are on board. Performance checked and set. MCP V2. What did we set? 152, I believe. Yeah, 152 for V2. We'll just do it this way. We'll go through it real quick. No, maybe not. But it's always worth a try. All right, folks. So again, V1's 139. Rotate 145. 152, which actually matched up here. Cool. That actually doesn't happen often. But anyway, and again, we'll set 4.8 to 5 on our trim. Okay. Coming down, stab trim. Let's get that set right now. That's right here. We're zooming in, and it's always crazy. Okay. Go. And aileron and rudder trim are at 0. Auto start. We will be using that. Just helps out. and we'll do a recall, and then we're going to do our departure brief. Okay, recall. All right, reason these aren't going away is nothing's running yet, folks. So brake pressure is up, so that's good. And what we're going to do again, let's get this on engine, the departure brief. And to do that, we need good old Sim Toolkit one more time. All right, you got Sim Toolkit in front of you. So we've just gone through the V speeds, but it's 139 for V1, 145 for rotate, 152 for V2. Then we'll climb out at 162. All right, so into the charts we go. All right, first one up here will be the airport chart for Denver. As you can see, here we are down here. We're going to be taxiing out via either A or Sierra Charlie. We'll get on Mike, taxi all the way up, over to 17 right, probably at Mike 10, use the whole runway. So we have the whole runway, I should say, available to us. Pretty straightforward, simple stuff. I don't see anything. Oh, excuse me, folks. Sorry for that yawn. Been a hell of a day. All right, so, and again, sorry for coughing at you now. ATIS is 134.025. Datacoms, ACARS, or CPlunk. And delivery is 118.75 if we don't have that equipment. Ground, we're on the east side, so 21.85. Tower for us on 17 right, 133.3. We're going to the east, so 128.25. And again, zooming in so you can kind of see it. More than likely, I'm going to just come out A2, come around A, and take us out up to Mike, and take off, like I said, from Mike 10 intersection, which is the end of the runway. Okay, moving on to the XP11 departure. Okay, so again, departure 128.25, airport elevation 5434 in feet, transition 18,000, and 17 right, we're going to climb on a heading of 173. We'll look at, let me just slide it over so you guys can also follow along. This is our runway right here. Okay, so we're going to go off runway heading, intercept course 118. Not sure what that's off of. To cross Gisty at or above. Wait a minute. Is that all in our FMC? You gotta love it when none of that looks right. Oh yeah, it is. Okay, cool. All right, so back to it. All right, so we'll cross Gisty at or above 7,000. Then on track 097, cross MLHOS at or above 10,000. Adjust slightly to 098 to cross SMTHR at or above 12. Then 92 to Simpson. Then track 92 to APUUU. And that we're going to be above 14,000. And we'll track 110 to Epke, and again we'll be at or above 15,000. So to give you a kind of a look at this, here we are coming off the right runway, intercepting heading 118 to Gisty, to Milhos, and you can see the altitudes we got to meet. We got to stay below 10,000, stay below 12,000, be above 14,000, and at Ipke be above 15,000. Then we're out on Colton to Doozy. We expect maintain flight level 230. 10 minutes after departure, we can expect to go higher. All right, so that is our charts for the departure. Here's a good look at it for you on, wait, I haven't got them put in here yet. Hang on. Doink. Okay, so let's put in 17 right on the F key. There we go. All right, so now, let me center it. Lost it. So now it's showing the F key in here. Oh, where is it? All right, we're going to look at the chart real quick here for 2.6 left. I'm just trying to get these blocks filled in. Sorry, folks. This is my own delay. 2.6 left. Okay, so we're all set here. Again, Sim Toolkit here, folks, that I'm using that you see on your screen. Maybe my one screen froze here. Let's check the other screen. Good deal. That you're seeing in front of you, that is free. Now, if you want to be able to see charts on NavGraph, you just got to purchase the NavGraph subscription that gives you the ability to keep your FMCs up to date and your charts. And then you can also associate that here. If you don't like default weather in here, some people don't. They think it may be off. I'm not arguing, but because I use it. But if you have active sky on your sim, and X-Plane can run on. Let me try that again. Active sky can run on active sky. If you have that, you can actually make this point to it. You just have to purchase it for your sim and then add it into Sim Toolkit. Okay, folks, we are to before start. Stand by. There we go. So we are now at the before start checklist. Wow. Farthest we've gotten today, folks. Wow, man, what a day. So, for this checklist, we've got the APU running, as it shows here. We got the passenger signs on. That came from the check before. Brake pressure, normal. Fuel quantity, still 36.0 kilograms. That's 36,000, by the way. Didn't want Biden to go, oh my God, they're actually in my fuel settings that I want in a million years. But anyway, that's all the politics I'm going to do today, guys. Sorry. Let's see here. Shipping papers are on board. Performance data checked and set. We went over the V speeds. We'll do it one more time. V speed for V1, 139. V rotate, 145. V2 is 152. We're going to climb out at V2 plus 10. That's 162. And it is set. Okay, we got 0 and 0 set on our aileron and rudder trims. Stabilizer set to 5.0. We'll do it from this one. It reads a little easier on your eyes and mine. And auto start is set and on. And the recall, we'll do it one more time to make sure. Cancel, recall. All right, folks, we are finally to push and start. Whoop, I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that. If it minimizes, sorry. I'm just starting one program now. My ACARS program. We are flying for the virtual airline FedEx Express Virtual. Very good airline, great management team, great ACARS program. those of you, I once had an airline called Virtual USA Airways. I started that, good Lord, back in 2002 or 3. Had a good following of pilots with it. And FS Acres came along, might have already been along, but I finally came in contact with it and used it for quite a bit of a couple of years. I didn't like some of the things, but it was because I didn't know how to do websites well enough to where that data could come in to this database to then update in here. By the way, folks, I still don't know how to do that. However, the guy behind Fed, man, this is such a tongue twister for me. So right now, everything seems to be that way. I need to take a deep breath and calm down here. Okay, let's try this again. Sorry, folks. Been a bit on edge today, and I do not mean to put that across to you guys. FedEx Express Virtual. There we go. Anyway, he's one of the guys behind the company there, or the virtual airline, and he has taken that FS Acres to another level. Phenomenal. Kudos to Federal Express or FedEx Express Virtual. And we're going to get things rolling here. I'm going to try something one more time. Oh, where'd it go? Okay. Now, I'm trying something new here. That's why. That's all I'm doing. Ooh, maybe that worked this time. Oh, it did. Wow. Yeah, their new ACARS program. He's been beta testing this and a new version of what he set up when I first joined. And wow, filling in a lot of information now. It's working a lot better. Well, looking better, looking great. I'm glad. Just doing the final check I always want to do to make sure I'm on. Oh, what did I do? Hit the wrong one. Doggone it. Hang on. Come on, in-flight. Come up. There you are. There we go. Looking a lot better than the last time I tried this. Good job. Good job, FedEx Express Virtual. There are 14 people right now on the network flying. Now, whether they're on VATSIM, POSCON, ICAO, or whatever it's called, the other one, the other big one that people go to. I've actually never tried that one in the 20 years I've been flight simming. So, and okay, why is that not showing up? Something didn't get done. Hang on. Cruise, that's what happened. The cruise did not get entered. Okay, there we go. All right, clear. Put that back. That looks better. I want to check something out. That just makes me want to check something. I want everything to be right when we push back. I did have it in. I don't know why. Let's click that just to be safe. Okay, folks. Oops. We'll stay on legs for now. Alrighty. Okay, so let's get into the push and start. Before I call the truck, we'll turn the we'll get the beacon light going when he's ready to hook up. Basically, what we're going to do is we pull, since we're on auto start, we'll pull. We'll start 2 and 3 first. That's the inboard ones. Oh, wait a minute. 1 and 4 first, the outboards. We'll pull the start levers for him. And then once he gets us pushing, clears us for engine start, we'll turn the fuel valves on. Those are located below the throttles. So there's 1, there's 4. Just so you're aware of it up here. 1, 4. Now, when you pull those up there, all they're doing is what we call armed. armed to start. They start when you pull the flight levers or the fuel levers up. Now, if auto start is not on, when you pull those, they immediately start firing up. And then when you get to your desired oil pressure, however you do it, oil pressure or in 2, then you turn your fuel valves on. Plain and simple. Okay, so we're going to bring up the rest of the hydraulic system right now. Okay, and then we push back. Once we have all engines running, we release the tug, go into the after start. Pretty simple, so let's get it rolling. Okay, so better pushback. Also, real quick note, and I know it's delaying me out of here. We're now 4 minutes late, but we're ready to push. If you are new to X-Plane and you're looking for what is some of the good things to have here, Better Pushback is one of those plugins you want to get. It is free, and all you do is just put it into plugins, follow the README, don't follow me. And it's a phenomenally easy program to use, as you're about to see. So we just highlighted and clicked Pushback here. We want to pre-plan it. And we're going to say, like I said, we're going to go out. Actually, we're going to go out the other way. So we're going to go a little different. So what I'll do is set it to here, turn the airplane with the mouse, get them as best I can on the center line, click my left mouse, enter.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
Okay, that's all it takes, and then you get the audio that you heard. That was actually pretty good in my ears. I hope it wasn't overpowering for y'all. If so, let me know. I don't know how to change that. All right, so now we're going to come back to Better Pushback and say Start Pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Okay, he'll be here in just a second. You'll see him up barely off the nose. Remember, we're about 3 stories in the air. So there he is right there. And it's the kind of pushback that's going to come into our nose gear, lift it up, and then push us. So let's verify the parking brake is set, and it is. And we're going to go ahead and light up the beacons. And the wing light. Oop, we went the wrong way. We need it on both. This is a 747-8 deal, where you only have the bottom or both, bottom top. I don't like that switch. Just my commentary.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
You liar. There goes the main door. That's why I did it, folks. Okay, we're getting ready to push. All right, so again, we're going to be arming. We'll go ahead and arm them up now. Gens are on. Hydraulics are on, which doesn't matter. Fuel pumps are on. Beacons are
Tow
on.
connected and bypass been inserted. Release parking brake.
Hang on a second, and we're going to come down. As he asked, we're going to release the parking brake. And the chocks. My bad. Go back to here and here. Liar, liar, pants on fire. He didn't tell me those were on. All right, let's see if they're still on. Nope, they aren't.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
You always make sure the chocks are removed. Oh, that gets me every time. Okay. Now, he said we can start engines, so we've got them armed. 1 and 4. Technically, you can pull them all. They only start when you hit the fuel control. I do them in sequence. And I wait till we start turning, so that way I hope we're not going to blast into some airplane behind us when we come alive. And while he's pushing, I'm going to be checking. And that little tink-tunk you hear, that's me trying to get a clearance, which it doesn't want to do, which is fine. And you can see them throttling up now. They're pretty much done. And if we look to the top, there they go, closing off when they reach their numbers. And they should start to stable down here. Yeah, we'll just go out this way. I'm not going to try the other taxiway. Keep it simple. Okay, now they're stabilized. We're going to go ahead, arm them up, and get them going. Doink, doink. The aircraft you see landing, folks, that is live. Well, looks like the live guys are going that way too now. Doggone it.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
We're still going because we're all set up. It's just live aircraft. We're not...
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Okay, so we got all of that set up. We'll go back to this one. Engines are throttled up. Start levers closed. And we're just waiting on him to disconnect. We're fired up, so we can go ahead and tell him go away. Over here, I'm going to start the time. Usually I try to start it when we start pushback. That's okay. Now, the only warning we have is that the auto throttle is disconnected. I keep it that way till we get to the end of the runway, punch it on, nav, VNAV, so I can make my turns.
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
All right, thanks for flying with Mike. All right, so we're going to do the ignition going into the after start checklist. Oh, excuse me, folks. All right, so the ignition is here. It's wanting us to go to continuous, so we turn it on. We can now turn the APU off. So all we got to do is turn it off. Turn the APU bleed off because the engines are on, and the packs can be turned on while we're here. Packs to on, hydraulic demand pump to auto. And we'll do a recall. Cancel. Recall. Okay. And then we're going to also check our flight controls before we set our flaps. Okay. So basically, what most crews will do, let me show it to you. Pull it up. There's a valve on here, I think it is, that they switch, turns on. It allows it to do what we're going to do manually. Just making sure they're free. And as you can see on the gauge, they're moving. And that's pretty much how they can tell. Okay, now the rudder pedals. And then we just kind of give it all of them a couple of tries, making sure everything's free, because folks, this is what gets you in the air, gets you to turn, gets you to do all you need to do before the autopilot comes on. Really, the autopilot can't do its job if they're not free, because somebody left the locks on. So be careful. All right, so the flight controls are free. Let's set the flaps. And again, for flaps, oh, stand by. Correction. We're going to our FMC real quick. Somebody misread his performance data. Wonder who that was. Captain Mike. We're actually flaps 10, folks. So we'll come to here, hit takeoff, flaps 10. Now, PMDG will clear them out. So let's see if they're still there. 139, 145, 152. And you notice it did change them slightly. All right, so we are good to go. I did not see that, and we're still 4.8. All right, so back to 2 and back to engine. Now we're going to set our flaps to level 10. Okay, you can see they're in transit. We're going to go ahead and put this back up on engine. We're going to go down to the bottom. Signs are on. Go to reject. Still have not gotten a clearance. Don't know why. Don't know whether to care or not. Let me look at the map real quick for POSCON. Nobody else here. All right, folks, we are going to taxi. So we're going to come up to this one. And to do that, we got to turn our lights on. We don't need those. Okay, so taxi lights will come on here momentarily. Landing lights at the runway. EFIS is set. Okay, oh, we're on decision height here. Hang on. 58. 58. There we go. Alrighty, folks. All we got to do, parking brake off. We are cleared to taxi. And YouTubers, we'll keep you going here until we hit that main taxiway mic. And then we'll cut you off, bring you back on at the end of the runway there. We'll do our before takeoff checks and take off. Twitch folks, you get to see us all the way up there. So we'll cut away here momentarily for you YouTubes. Once we make the curve there, actually where you see that truck coming pretty close, we'll make the turn there and go. Man, I don't like seeing that. That means the real world's landing to the north. I wonder what it would take. That would actually be a quicker taxi too. So you know what, folks? We're going to go up here onto the taxiway. We're going to set up for the 3-5 left departure. We'll brief it real quick and just the departure only, because basically we're just going out the other way, looping around and coming on. But when I see something that would be a lot quicker in getting me airborne on a very frustrating day, I take it. So that means we're going to loop over here. Now, this big ramp right in front of us that we're lining up on the taxiway, that's the de-ice area for this runway. Okay, when we get up to it, we're going to stop real quickly, put the new departure in, Make sure we have no discontinuities or anything like that. It's mainly the new runway, but they may make us have to do the new takeoff. This happens quite a bit, just frustrating for me. Meanwhile, we're going to switch 35 left, get new numbers. Pretty much the same, folks, so that's the good thing, and I kind of figured that. But yeah, this ramp here is de-ice. I'll show it real quick where we'll be at. And we're going to hold short right here at the ILS hold and get things relined up since they decided to change things on us. And since we don't have a delivery, we wouldn't have known until we came out and started seeing airplanes landing the other way. But this is where they de-ice. I don't know where they do it on the others. So, sorry folks. But welcome to the stream, everyone. If you like what you've seen so far, please hit follow and here on Twitch, and that'll let me know you like what I'm trying to do and that you want to see more episodes. When we go live, you'll get an email. So what I'm going to do, set the parking brake right now. I'm going to be here for a few seconds. And for those of you on YouTube, we are holding short of, which taxiway are we at? Hang on. That's the good thing with NavGraph. I can do this real quick. We are holding short of Lima, and let me explain why. We're changing runways. So we're going to have to do that into our FMC, which is a pain in the rump, I know, for me especially, because, well, quite frankly, I'm ready to get in the air, and this mouse may need me to change things. All right, so we're going to be taking off now on this 3-5 left. Same departure. Whoops. There it is. Same. So everything else is the same. We're changing the runway. We'll hit execute. We'll check that we don't have any discontinuities, which could happen because of this. Looks like no. All right, so let's quickly brief this departure. 921, that all looks good. All right, so we're going to quickly brief this. So let me pull it up. And what I'm going to do is basically just do it on the fly here. Okay, so let me... all right, so it's going to stay right here. Basically, where we're at, it's right at the hold. We're going to taxi straight out and take off. Hallelujah. For the new departure... Oh, I got to change that. Hang on. Sid, no. No, it's still the same. My bad. Okay, real quick for 3-5. Hang on. Come on, computer. Quit this. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to climb on a heading of 353 to 5,934 feet. At that point, we're going to do a right turn to Kidding, cross at or above 10,000. Then we're going to track to Piddle, then to APUU. So you're going to see us coming down here at or above 14,000, and Epke and so forth. That's the real changes. Looking at it here, 5934. So we're going to be over the approach end for runway 8 at about 400, 500 feet. We'll make the turn direct to Kidding, direct to Piddle, and then back on what we've already briefed. All right, folks, so that's all I wanted to bring up here real quick. We're going to change that up here real quick too. Maybe, sort of, kind of, maybe. 3-5 right. And if we zoom down, you'll see it showing the same. See how that purple line just changes out? And then it's going to be set on center. So basically we're now taking off this way. So disregard this line. All right, folks, let me get us back on screen here. And so, well, no, I'm going to keep that as is. All right, so we're back in the cockpit. All right, folks, so the last things we got to do here before we take off. And the reason being, another plane just landed out on the 3-5. So I'm just playing it safe. We're going to go this route. All right, so before takeoff checks. MCP. Oh, we got to get it corrected. MCP is now hello, NavGraph. I'm trying to wait on this. Leave 353. Okay. Come on. Thank you. Oh, come on. Sorry, folks. I'm just getting numbers real quick here. And of course, at this level, it's been a real pain. Okay, auto throttle can come on now. We're going to go ahead and set the clock when we get on the runway. Make sure the transponder is all the way on. Well, we can't go. Oh, there it goes. I'm sorry. TARA. Recall. Flight attendants have been notified. We'll just do it again. Guess what? We don't have any. But just in case we run passenger flight, that keeps me up to date on it. All right, and then we're set up now for after takeoff and cruise. So for takeoff, what I'm going to do is just set this to program. We're there. We're set up on guard. That's cool. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start easing our way up. See another one landing there. Glad we did it. Oh, parking brake off first. Give it some gas. Here we go. Denver traffic, FedEx 811 will be departing runway 35 right, XP11 departure. And that's in case we have somebody here, which I have seen on the map for POSCON. We're going to check one more time while we have the chance. Yeah, there's someone still here. And let me do this real quick. And for those of you in the chat area, thank you for giving us a try. If you like what you see, click follow on Twitch. If you like what you see on YouTube, click subscribe. And that way you'll be notified when we're back up and flying again. All right, we're going to put terrain radar on and weather radar on now. And as we come up to the hold line, we're going to go ahead. First, make sure nobody's about to hit us, and they are. Now, again, if I was to have gone out on the runway, and that southwest is what I think it is coming in, would have flown through us, nothing happens. It's not AI aircraft like it is in Flight Sim, Microsoft FSX. I don't know about the new one. So, oh, it's a go around. Haha. Let's see. And here we go. And since we're entering the runway, let's hit the strobes. And here we go, folks. Taking 35 left. Who's on the runway that made him go around? Wasn't me. All right, folks. Remember, this is a... Oh. Well, you're going to find this a lot different if you've ever flown Microsoft Flight Sim, minor, real M games. It's a whole different world in X-Plane, and even I'm, after 6 months of learning this, still ready to throw it out into the snow here in St. Louis. But we keep going because of beautiful scenery. If you take off from Denver here and go west, GA aircraft, you're going to see some phenomenal mountains. It's pretty nice what they've done scenery-wise. Now, if you've seen Microsoft Flight Sim 2020, I don't think it comes to their level, but pretty close. All right, but welcome aboard. We thank you, and thank you for following us. We appreciate that. All right, so we're ready to take off. So what we'll do here, throttle up to, what I normally do is bring it up to right under the N1 to these. Let me try and zoom in so you get a better look at it. Right under N1. Let me get something also for you. If you like me and you like 747s, the default one stinks in FSX. Quite frankly, outright stinks. Let me find him. Where is he hiding? Because I know I got it. There it is. If you go to this GitHub website, what that'll do, hang on a second. Yes, that is somewhat true. Don't outthink the new Microsoft Flight Sim, though. They have taken the VFR flying to another level by incorporating Microsoft Earth or Google, I'm sure it's Microsoft Earth, into their scenery, and it is flat out phenomenal. But so is X-Plane. But this is where you can get this 747 that I'm flying. It is free, and it upgrades the default one, just like the Zibo 737 upgrades the default 737-800. So, well, we're going to get going here. Otherwise, I am going to run out of time today. Lights on. Strobes are on. And auto throttle armed. LNAV armed. VNAV armed. And here we go. Throttling up, like I said, to right about here. We're going to go ahead and let her run. Everything's stable. I have set Toga to a switch on my throttle stick, so I am pushing that and then also pulling the throttles up by hand because my throttle stick is that way. But you can see everything here. I wish it would show me the numbers up here, but I don't know if they fixed that or not yet. There's 80 knots. We're go. Again, V1, 139, 145, 152. Okay. There's V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear up. Okay, it's time to turn. Okay, gear is up. We're going to go ahead and make the turn, keeping it away from 30 degrees. Then you'll get the bank angle alert. While we're doing that, first officer, landing gear off. Pitch us down a little bit. Okay. What I'm going to do, line us up. I'm going to get the autopilot on here in a minute. Okay. Flaps to 5. All right, folks, we are climbing. We got the autopilot on. Shows in command here. LNAV, VNAV are on. Flaps 1. Flaps up. Now, one thing I do want to set. I have to get this thing in such a weird angle to be able to do it. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be a frustrating day. There's 10,000. Now that's technically only 5,000 feet above the ground. We're going to go ahead and kill the lights. Okay, that'll be at 18 when we do the other. Okay, so what we're going to do now, folks, we're going to go ahead, accelerate this beast up to 300. Which she's doing nicely. VNAV's on. Okay. All right, so let's do the after takeoff check. Okay, so we have a positive rate of climb. We did. We put the gear up, and it is off and checked. Hang on a second. Oh, we may have to do that again. It's, yep. 3700. Execute. Okay. Very frustrating. We have to do that too so much. All right, so now we're climbing again for climbing up. This is where it kind of wobbles up. Kind of, it is what it is. Flaps are now up, and they went up on schedule. Auto brakes, we'll check. They should be off, and they are. That's right here. Autopilot's engaged. Pressurization, we can monitor that right here on this. Oh, excuse me. And then landing lights went off at 10,000, and at 15,000 we're going to kill the continuous on our ignition. I'm going to go ahead and kick on the anti-ice for safety. Okay, and everything's off. We're going to kill the wing light as well. Folks, we're on our way. Just going to do a quick check here over at FedEx. And where are we? 811 is on the map, 2.5 hours out of Atlanta. And I forgot to start my timer. Oh well. Oh well. Only helps us out in our logbooks. Really comes in handy on the approaches. Okay, so we're gonna take a look outside the plane. Yes, FedEx does not have 747s painted in their colors. However, Atlas Air flies charter flights for them from time to time when business, especially Christmas time. But when business is peaking, Atlas comes in to help them. They're under contract. Let me try something else so you can see the other side. And there you see, this one was set up properly. It says Atlas Air. I don't know if that's a real tail number for them or not, but it's a really nice, very nice livery for the aircraft. We're climbing out, folks. Should be getting pretty close to 18,000. We're over it. So we're going to click standard on our altimeter settings. Okay. Then we're going to go up top. We're going to turn off continuous. And that, folks, is the after takeoff checklist till we get up to cruise. Twitch, you all get to fly along with us as we head that way. YouTube, we're going to kind of be breaking in and out, but we'll all be back together by the time we reach the arrival brief, as well as top of descent, and then again we'll kind of go in and out till we get to a good point for the approach into Atlanta and landing. So folks, I hope you enjoy your hang on, let me get the right day. It's been a hellish week at work too. Saturday we'll be here for the 2.5 hour run, now down to about an hour and a half, hopefully down to about 2 hours, and we'll see you all here on Twitch or YouTube. Y'all have a great day, and like I said, we'll be standing by. We're not leaving anywhere. I'm just getting things lined up here, but YouTube, we're going to put you guys part of the editing process so we don't give you so long to wait. So for now, put some music on, enjoy the ride. Okay, folks, back with you here as we're through 31,000, heading up to our cruise level, 37,000. Just here to see any questions. I'll always be here. Just hit me in the chat room. We'll either text it out to you or chat it. But we got some music going from Pretzel Rocks. So if that gets too loud, let me know. I can always turn that down as well. But folks, just I hope you enjoy flying with Mike. And if you do, as Minor Real M Games did, click follow and you'll be able to follow along. We do have a YouTube channel if you're interested in seeing some of what we did. We have a new video up from a couple of days ago where, just a bad day with the MD-82. It took off from Seattle, and as I was climbing out and went to hit EPR, well, that happened to be also right where the fire bottle is for engine 1, and yep, shut engine 1 down and brought the plane down as well. Gotta love it. So later that day we tried it again, strictly on YouTube, and we gear up landed in Kansas City. So even I still have problems with X-Plane, and I keep my mistakes on YouTube with those videos, not both of them, but just the gear up landing, so people can see I'm not one of those pilots that just, I am still learning X-Plane, still learning things. And in the sim, it's great. In the real world, that would be bad. Okay, so there's 33,000. We're going to switch into Mach now. Kind of ease her up, see if she'll do it. And once we level off at 37, I'll set it at Mach 0.84. The aircraft can do 0.86 in cruise. I'm just trying to save a little bit of fuel, folks. And a little wear and tear. In the real world, the name of the game is try to get those engines. That's your livelihood, folks. That's what keeps you in the air. Give them a little more, so they'll stick around a little longer before, they have to do maintenance. Okay, we're through 35,000, so we're getting there. We're going to see every now, let's get some pack signs off. Hang on. Okay. Okay, now the ACAR's no comm. All that is, they don't have that featured yet, but basically what you would go in and do is set that up so your ACAR system, not necessarily the one FedEx uses, or if you're with a virtual airline, that one may use, but it allows you maybe to be on a map that they're going to eventually put out, if they're going to model it. FSX has had it, Flight Sim 9, which was a Century of Flight. With PMDG, they've all had it, but it's never been incorporated. I only know of one 747, and it was mainly geared to the, excuse me there, folks, the home cockpit builders. So I don't know if that's ever come into play here. I don't know if the real Microsoft will, Flight Sim, will incorporate it, the new one, or not. So we don't worry about that. Okay, let's zoom in. Here we go, folks, coming up on 37. And things are looking up as we zoom out. Boy, it's really a pain today. Okay, let's set our cruise. We'll go 0.85. What the heck? Fuel 29.6. Do not let that freak you out, folks, in the United States, like it does me, believe it or not, every now and then. That is kilograms, and they're basically, so if you double that number to, what would that be, 58, is that 58? Yeah, 59,000 pounds of fuel. Get it in context. Double the number, basically. It's a little more than that, but if you double the number, you get the point. And that'll get you going. Folks, we're at cruise. Let's run the cruise checklist. EFIS is checked and set. We're going to set from DH to MD8. Oh, wait a minute. What were we on? Hang on. Let me see if I can tell. So now we're going to set to DH on both of them. And you can check that by, see how I'm rotating the back one to set it, rotate the front one. Now to tell you're on the back, you see how much bigger that half circle is versus that. The bigger circle's the back one, the little one's the front one. And if you just turn that, you'll see the numbers changing for DH. We'll do the same check over here that I did not do. And you can see them changing there too. All right, folks. I see I also forgot to set those, and it told me several times, check EFIS. Shame on this pilot. All right, folks, we got 750 miles to top of descent. We've hit cruise. We will not be step climbing, and all I got left to do is to hone in our direct, and we are headed to Wichita right now, folks. About 200 miles out, 190-ish, and we're set to terrain here, weather radar here. So folks, enjoy the flight for about another hour and a half, and then we'll be in at the arrival brief and coming down phase. So we'll be on the side. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you like what you're seeing, like what you're hearing, hit subscribe or follow. That will get you with us when we go live. But for now, enjoy the flight. We'll be talking at you a little later. as well as those of us watching on YouTube. All right, so what we're going to be doing now, we're standing out about 125 miles out of Memphis, and about 270-ish miles out of Atlanta, top of descent into Atlanta. So what we're going to do is go through the arrival brief, and for that we will need some toolkit. Hang on just a second here. Just looking at a couple of views here, making sure everything's up to date. All right, and while you were away, YouTube, we had a couple of followers come on board to Twitch. Hopefully they're subscribing to our YouTube channel as well. We knew about Minor Real M Games. He or she came on about an hour ago. Then we had Dave ILIX10 come on about 23 minutes ago. Both of you, we thank you for joining us. For following us on Twitch. When we go live, you'll get an email if your notifications are set up, so you know where we're going next. Now, we had to cancel yesterday's flight because of overtime that I was working at the airport. Hope to make that up here soon. I was really hoping to do it today, 2 flights. That's not going to happen because I got to work again at the airport tomorrow in the public safety, 24 on, 48 off. So that's not going to happen, but maybe Monday. So we'll see what happens, though. We'll see how things transpire tomorrow. The good thing is temperatures are above freezing for at least a week here in St. Louis, and that is going to really melt down the 6 to 8 inches we got out in my yard there. So, and hopefully that too at the airport. So, and hopefully the flights will start getting back to normal in that they're not coming in and having problems, delayed out and all of that, making for late nights and all that good stuff that comes with working at an airport. So, all right, so let's get into this arrival brief. Making sure, yep, we have you guys on board as well. So, some toolkit, we're just going to bring you over that way. All right, so here's some toolkit. I kind of switched the way the map looks. Those of you familiar with the roads, like I used to be a trucker about 20 years ago-ish. Came off the road in 2001, actually, oddly enough, 2 weeks before 9/11. My first shift out at Mid-America Airport ended September 10th. Got home, went to bed September 10th, like all of us in the world, woke up September 11th to 9/11. Yippee! So yeah, I wasn't sure about coming off the road at that point, but I've worked at the airport on and off since then, and it's been interesting out there to watch it unfold at that level. So, but anyway, let's get into this arrival brief, shall we? All right, so right now we're in the vicinity here of the about to come out of the Ozarks. I'm going to try and not hover any of over these blue aircraft out here, besides mine, because they don't know that we're streaming, and they may or may not want to be on the stream, for all I know. All right, so here's Memphis. That's our next fix ahead. It does not. Oh, there's an airplane there. My bad. So right now we are within about 80 or so miles. So here we go into the brief. We're going to do the weather real quick in Atlanta, see what's current. Winds are currently, as of about, we'll call it a half hour-ish ago, 340 at 8, 10 miles of visibility, clear skies, and up to St. Louis at least, a balmy 12 degrees, but that is centigrade, so that's going to put it up in the mid-60s. We'll take it. We're just now, we were above freezing today, First time in about a week and a half, so we'll take it. Altimeter setting there is 3033, and we are actually 37 degrees, so we're actually been melting off a lot of snow today. Yay. All right, so real quick recap of Atlanta. They're at 1,026 feet above sea level. Transition is 18,000. We're coming in for 26 left. 275 is the heading on it. Here is our approach features, which we'll go into on our brief here, which I'm going to have to change actually. And so we're going to be on a frequency of 108.7. The identifier is India, Bravo, Romeo, Uniform, and they're on a heading, 275. Runway's 9,999 feet. Folks, you know what I'm going to do, call it 10,000 feet. And it's got a little bit of an upslope to it. All right, so that gives us the current weather. Now let's get into NavGraph. And what we're going to do real quick, we're going to come over to here, hit this, hit the approaches. There's 26. Oh, that is the right one. Okay, so I do have the right one up. Cool. All right, so here's our approach, folks. This is our standard terminal arrival chart, STAR for short, for KATL, effective January 26 of 18. Actually make it 1 February. And it's page 10-2A of Jepson, RNAV STAR. Okay, STAR being again standard terminal arrival chart. Transition is 18,000. DME, IRU, or GPS required. 747s are equipped with IRUs, and so they're perfectly fine. Radar required. Okay, we don't have that part, but we're not worried about it. And once again, 10,000 or 1,026 feet above sea level. Holy mackerel, I almost said 10,000. Wow. We've been into that airport, by the way, folks. Down in South America, El Alto, the highest airport in the world, commercial to land at, and it's fun. All right, so the instructions are from, hang on a second. Just reading. Okay, so it says here, landing east, select runway 9 right. We're not going to 9 right. We're FedEx. We park on the north side. Select DFINS approach transition. Landing west. Oh, I misread. Sorry. Landing west, select runway 26 right. We're taking 26 left for the extra footage for the runway. So from Glavin, we'll get into that in a minute. We're going to track 144 to STHRN. And then from STHRN, let me see if I can get this to where we can kind of see it. Here's STHRN. We're going to go to Hogue, then to Rain, to Cloud, to Sweat, to Kimmy, to Kiwi. Then on 095, we're going to track, basically continue till we're vectored for our turn into Gyri. And Gyri is our initial for 26 right. So let's pull back just a little, see if we have altitude restrictions. And we do, actually. Now, mind you, landing west means we're going west. Landing east means we're going east. So we're going to be landing west. But first, so here's why we have those. Okay, the first fix, HUTC, then Kensaw. Then we hit the transition for this arrival, which is what I call Russa. And we're going to track Russa to Ruth, to Jackson, to Madix, to Glavin. And at Glavin, we need to be at 14,000 feet, so we'll need to set our ILS up to that. And then these are the runway 8, so we're not worried about that. Okay, make sure there's none over here. All right, so then again, like it said, we'll track Glavin, 14,000 feet, down our way down to heavy, and come in on Jiri. Okay, pretty simple, easy looks, and I don't see anything else to be of a problem here. So over to the ILS 26 left approach. Again, we're picking the north side of the airport because our parking is on that side. There's always a possibility they could land us on the 27s. The nice thing about Atlanta, and we'll show you here, they have a great not a go-around, what do you want to call it? Bypass taxiway that allows you to keep taxiing while they take off and land on the 26s. But anyway, we're coming in on the ILS or localizer for runway 26 left. That is effective since 4 October 19, page 1111 in the Jepson book. All right, so first page is our frequencies, which are basically ATIS 119.65, approach 127.9, 125.325 if we end up with approach. I'm sorry, with tower, my bad. Ground 126.9. Then we get into the part we know for sure we have to deal with. Okay, the localizer is 108.7. That is again identified India, Bravo, Romeo, uniform. We'll get that set up with the ILS. That'll actually go into our NavCom, our nav data in our FMS. And when we get within range, it should pull it up and make it active. Final approach course is 275. We should be on the glide slope by DJ, DEJAA, at or above, or at 2,600 feet. No at or above, dead on 2,600 feet, or on glide slope. Yeah, and we've had some where they've been kind of funky looking, where they're below it, and our glide path is above it. Really weird looking. Our decision altitude is 1,280 feet. Remember, airfield altitude is 1,026 feet above sea level. Landing touchdown zone at 996. So that gives us about 284 feet when we decide to go around or not. If there is a go around, we climb to 1,500 feet, then turn right to 3,500 feet outbound on the 005 radial from ATL. That's the VOR there at the airport. At Troy's, which is approximately DME 15 miles from Atlanta, we hold, or if ATC is on, they'll direct us what they want to do. Again, transition levels 18,000. Simul to expect if we were on VATSIM or ATC, we could have simultaneous approaches on both 27s. We won't have them on the 26s, but they may be coming in on the 27s with us. And the Malzer PAPI lights on left, on 26 right. So we got to be mindful we're using the right PAPIs for our approach. Okay, so we're coming in here from Jiri, which is a 21-mile final, all the way in. We'll have Boykin marked and DJ. Remember, DJ is where we got to be at 2,600 feet, then USUCI, and that's where we're coming in. Okay, let me kind of pull us down so you can see the glide. 5,000's where we'll be at Jiri, and so forth down our approach. This is actually pretty decent. Okay, so coming in to Atlanta, we're going to have a Malzer lighting system if it's dark. We won't see it, obviously, unless we're in clouds. It's clear, so I doubt it. PAPIs should be on the left side, so that's the ones we'll pay attention to. And then this is just giving us the missed approach again in a diagram kind of form. 1,500 feet straight ahead, right turn to 3,500 feet on the Atlanta 116.9 is ATL on the radial 005 outbound to Troy's. Hold. Okay. And sorry about that, folks. Did not mean to move it. And then these are our minimums. And for us, RVR of 24 or half a mile. It's clear. We don't have to worry about that. And we're not. Then let's just switch over to the airport map here real quick. Okay, so when we land on 26 left, my guess is the way my landings normally go, we're going to get off at hotel. Now, if you remember right, if they told us to go to the 27s, we could taxi here through Concourse A around on Victor to hotel and in. That way we are not getting and waiting on traffic after traffic after traffic, landing, taking off, landing, taking off. It's a shame it doesn't go around that one too. It is what it is. But anyway, then we'll taxi hotel, Alpha to Alpha 7 into the cargo area. FedEx is right in here, folks. And that's where we'll be parking. Right, folks, so VREF for the flight. Sorry for that again, folks. Hang on, switching screens. And complete. We're on 26 right. No anti-ice, so we'll plan auto land, but we're going to plan with auto brakes 3. 30 and 30 for our final. Let's update the weather here. Okay. And okay, so we're going to have a headwind component of 3 knots, crosswind of 7, so that gives us an idea how we're coming in. Temperature 12, 30, 30, 30, 33 for the altimeter. And for the VREF, updated now to 141. We'll put that in there. We'll have to do it manually. And then 146 will be our approach. We'll probably come in at 150 and slower up as we get there. 160 down to 150 and in. So that is our arrival brief, folks. Let's see. Clear this off. See where we are right now. I'm not even sure we're over Memphis yet. Oh, we have crossed Memphis. Okay. And just waiting. We're heading to HUTCC, so that's good. And that puts us now about 100 miles out. So what we need to do is get this arrival plugged in, checked, and ready to go. So to do that, we're going to bring up our departure arrival page. Excuse me. All right, so we've already got Gavin 1 and Russia activated. So we got to look for our runway. 26 left, correct? Wait a minute. Hang on. I'm already screwing up. Sorry about that, folks. There we go. All right. So we're back in here. All right. So we can do this with maybe. All right. So 26 left. Okay. All I did is brought Sim Toolkit up. So 26 left. Gyri. Now you see how everything's back to select. So we're still doing the Gavin 1. It's selected. Transition Russia. And 26 left in Gyri. We're going to hit execute. Yeah, we're going to get a lot of that. Maybe. All right. So that sets us up there. I'm going to go to legs. HUTC is fine. Gavin needs to be at 14,000. So we're going to plug that in. And that is going to change the whole dynamic of this arrival. So let's go here and threw us way off. Okay, so that could mean somewhere in here is There it is. All right, so we're going to do this to this. Execute. Oh boy. All right, so I think we just changed everything. Dang it. Hang on a second. I hate this thing. It's not fully working yet like it should. All we got to do is turn that off, turn that back, execute. That'll roll us back, hopefully. Nope. Dang it. All right, this is not good. All right, I hate when it does this. All right, so we are actually direct Jiri. Got 118 miles. What we're gonna try and do, I hate when I do this. This is the only thing about this aircraft that sometimes irritates me. Doing it in this close to it, it's not picking up the other fixes. Let me try, just out of curiosity. Yeah, not doing it. Okay. All right, folks, so we are going to continue because we don't have ATC, and hopefully we won't. We're just going to continue to Jiri. What I'm going to try and do is do my best with Sim Toolkit to work us in there. Yeah, he said that. Because I can't really put those in without making more of a problem. So, well, no. Well, let's try with the first fix. HUTCC. Oh, that's why. Never mind. My bad. HUTCC. Okay, we're going to execute that so it gets back on course. Okay, now, real quickly. RUSSA. We're just going to plug them in one at a time. Ruth. Oh, this is going to be a pain. Okay, I'll put one more in. ST, wait a minute, let me just see my star. HOGG. Okay. Kiwi. Okay. All right, hang on, folks. We're going to do it again. GLAVN. Oh. Okay. HOGGG. And then KEAVY. KEV, isn't it? Oh, A. Y. Boom. Execute. Okay. Now, Jerry. Okay, I don't know why we're getting this. Okay, but we're about 66 miles out. So what I'm going to do is switch total gears, go to my approach page, go back to here, 141. Okay, so we can't do this because that's what we get. All right, so we're going to go 30, diagonal, 141. Into there. That just set our reference, or it should have. Usually it shows up. Okay, well, we're going with it. All right, so back to this page. Okay, so Glavin again is 14,000. Hang on. Excuse me, folks. I had to make a cough there. I didn't want to do that in your ear at all possible. And I'm sorry if it's pretty dull, dry. Just trying to basically reprogram this arrival into here. We'll try it again once we get past, get up towards Kiwi's up here. 2 fixes. All right, folks, so back to here. We're 50 miles out, so let's set our numbers down to 14. I'm not sure it's going to accept that this far out. Let me see. Let me try something. I don't know. We're going to try it again. Oh, this thing is aggravating. That is not helping matters at all. So, 1, 4. Oh, we are descending. Hallelujah. I'm going to go ahead and pull the throttles back. That's fine. We're going to close that out. Okay, so we are on our descent. It's still going to show us. The reason I'm starting us down is so we hit 14,000. As close as we can to Gavin, then we'll begin the rest of the arrival. All right, folks, that's not how it's supposed to work, but it's what they're going to have us do today. All right, so we're coming in. And folks, we are on descent. Let's take a look at the plane outside. And oh, we're not going to be in the dark, but we're not going to be far from it. Kind of figured that going east, you take off. When you take off from like Vegas for the East Coast, it's like you're on a red eye. If you take off at like 10 or 11, you're going to end in the morning hours. It's very similar to when you take off from our East Coast for Europe. You're going to take off at like, oh, anywhere from like 5 to 11 at night, somewhere in there, maybe early, maybe later. And you're going to land over there. Granted, it's 6 hours over, plus all those time zones, 4 to 5 to 6 hours. So you're mounting them up. Now coming back, it's the other way around. It's kind of hard to visualize. Now, the one interesting thing about a plane that a lot of people called a success, yet a flop. And I don't mean that disrespectfully for what happened in Paris, the Concorde. A success that it could fly Mach 2 from Europe to the US, vice versa back. A success, it was a time machine, and I'll explain it in a second. A flop, because it was $6,000 a seat. Why was it that? Because there was only like 120 to 130 seats on board. So you can't lower that price for the plane because there isn't enough bodies to do that. Whereas the 747 came out at the same time. They could cram 400 people into the plane, driving it down. Granted, it's a 6, 7, 8 hour flight, depending where you're going. And so they could lower the price. That's where it flopped. That's why I said no disrespect for what happened to it in Paris. And that's an amazing accident. No offense again. You really want a good study on that. The NTSB and French aviation authorities were able to piece together, one, what happened, why they haven't really, I don't know if they ever ironed out why that particular accident occurred when it happened 3 other times at Dulles and never exploded into flame like it did. They had tire blowouts in Dulles and it never went into flames, but it did in Paris. So, but anyway, they were able to, one, nail down that. NTSB does that all the time. But they nailed down the type of FOD that the tire hit to blow the tire that then blew the pieces in that we saw the fire. And not only did they go that far, they matched it to the plane that had taken off before the Concorde, however many planes ahead of it. I don't know that part. I don't remember that in the story. So they actually nailed down, I mean, it's an amazing account of the investigative work that went into it, to nail it down to the exact, and they took the part that fell off the plane, the little piece, matched it to the plane. I mean, you couldn't discount that evidence in any other way than your plane dropped that piece, be it fatigue, be it whatever. I don't know the cause of why it. Then they have to go into why did it fall off and blah, 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 blah. That's why when they investigate, that's why flying is safer than cars. Because when a plane mishap occurs, they dissect that mishap to the nth degree, come out with their final conclusions, and changes go out worldwide. Look at the Boeing 737 MAX. Look what happened in that. Boy, if they did that with some of the car crashes that happen out there, they'd ground every car out there. Till the drivers learned how to drive. Oh, there's another rant starting. I'm going to stop. So, oops, I'm moving the wrong dial. Sorry about that, folks. Let's get this in a little bit. Okay, so we're coming up on Glavin, and we're not descending very well at all. So let's set this up right. We're going to start our descent and slow down. Okay, come on, airplane. You got to descend. You're set to descend. Descend. Okay. So, again, I don't mean disrespect at all to that Concorde. It's just, to me, amazing the level of investigativeness that went into that incident to, unfortunately, ground the plane. But more importantly, all the little pieces that went into that crash to be found and worked out as well. So, now the reason why I say it's a time machine coming back, many a time people would get on the plane in London, we'll just say at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Nice, easy, or even better yet, noon. We can work on 12 o'clock. It's a 3-hour flight. So you're going to land roughly around 3 o'clock in JFK. However, time zone wise, you just crossed four time zones in the summertime, 5 in the wintertime. Folks, you're going to land before technically your watch says you took off. Welcome to the Concorde. Welcome to time zones. You gained a couple hours. So, but at a price. Okay, we are not descending, so we got to get this thing going. All right, there it goes. We'll get her coming down. All right, we're at 290. We're going to go ahead and switch into this, because I think there may be a speed restriction there as well. Nope, there isn't, so thank goodness for that. And we're coming down. Hopefully, we're going to definitely miss our 30 or 14,000. We're just going to keep her coming down. When we get to Hogue, hopefully we'll be getting close to where we can slow her to 250, and then on from there. So folks, YouTube, I'm going to put it on pause for you. For the rest of us on Twitch, we get to watch my mayhem as I try to get this plane down to landing altitude here in a timely manner. So YouTube, we'll see you shortly. All right, YouTubers, welcome. We are very close to turning on to the final. What I'm getting ready to do here is turn us outbound just a tad. We're having a little trouble with the airplane deciding to fly what's commanded. They're getting me very close to getting on a tirade here, so hopefully it won't, and hopefully things will turn to its favor. This Zoom thing has been driving me bunker. Gosh, dang it. All right, but X-Plane is about to fly out of this house. I'm going to go back to FSX here if it keeps it up. It won't hold the altitudes I set, and this Zoom thing has gotten way out of control. I'm about ready to go to FSX. I'm about had it with X-Plane. And those of you that swear by it, I apologize. This one sucks. Okay, so finally it's going to fly what I'm inputting. See how long I can do this. Didn't think very long. Okay, so now we're turning for the final approach. And once we do, we'll get a firm up on our localizer. And I'm going to try and hope that this thing will stay. I doubt it, but you never know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. absolutely unacceptable what's going on with X-Plane right now. Enough so that I'm, like I said, it's almost to the point where FSX is coming on, or prepared, one of the two. Okay. Really not sure. Oh, we drifted out that far. That's funny. The glide slope's still alive, showing here. Localizer's gone. Maybe I can get... Oh, good Lord. Are you for real? Okay. Now I'm slowing to 220. Now I'm getting nervous. Actually, we're going all the way down to 210 first. Going to flaps 5. There's the localizer. As soon as we get aiming back to Jiri, actually now Boyer. Okay, at least we got the airfield in sight. We're down to flaps 5. Currently no auto land, duh. And 19 miles out. So we're going to kind of slowly bring her down to 5,000. Arm up the speed brakes. Maybe not. Okay, we're going to now slow to 180. Okay, we're at flaps 10. On glide slope, on localizer. Okay, folks, we are on final. Currently 14 miles out, slowed to 180. Missed approach information. 3,500, okay. All right, I have no idea what's triggered this. Oh gosh, you gotta love this crap. All right. Okay, so we're at least on glide path. Once we get below 3,500 feet, try this again. Okay, folks, after a very long and arduous day, it is always nice to see the airport ahead that you're aiming for. Very, very arduous day, both with this plane and with X-plane and all around. Still don't show that my speed brakes are armed. There they go. Okay, so now down to 160. Down to 3,500. Okay, so missed approach speed is set. We're on the correct heading. Actually, it's 273. Oh, it's not going to let me. Okay, that's cool. And here comes the gear. Flaps 20. All right, folks, we're about to take over the plane. A little nervous too. I'm waiting to make sure everything's gonna work. Okay. All right, so landing checklist, flaps. Right now at 20, we're gonna go ahead and drop them all the way. Speed brakes, armed, gear, down, green, verified. Reason I say that, we had a gear up landing last time out. Not with this plane, with the MD-80. Rightly so for that plane. All right, we're going to take over throttles right now. Okay. And there goes the autopilot. Little high, coming in. How's the wind? Okay, a little off to the left, so we'll watch for that. Currently on glide slope, on localizer. We are good to go, hopefully. Gear down. We're at 150. Start a flare. Reverse. Idle reverse at the moment. Brakes are on. $80 knots. Coming out of auto brake. Well, folks, I did a lot better than I thought this sim would let me into here. Gear is down, and spoilers are still up, but we're going to be getting off a little quicker than I thought. Stand by. We landed, folks, at 390, was it 90? 99 feet a minute. Folks, that's a good landing in my books. And we're coming off here at B6, slowing us to a good turn speed. Okay. Start cranking her around. What we're going to do is hold our position right here, clean up, which means flaps all the way up, spoilers all the way up, and auto brake off. Okay, so after landing checklist, landing lights, they're going off, strobes off, anti-ice off, I'm sorry, stab trim to 6. I'm on the shutdown. That's good where it's at. Ooh, dang it. Okay. MCP set, EFIS reset, transponder. We're going to leave that on till we get to parking. Auto brakes are off. Final thing, let's turn on the APU. All right, now finally, I want to see where we are on the airport. God, I wish I knew what I clicked here. Oh well. And okay, so oh, that's not bad. We'll go to Delta, crossover. All right, so folks, what we're going to do now, we're going to go ahead, pull up Sim Brief here and just our Sim Toolkit. Just a second. And at the same time, that'll allow you to see where we're taxing now. Hang on, let me, I'm going to switch. We're going to go from nav graph to, only because it changes what's in front of my face. Okay. All right, so we have two others here. We're going to switch into satellite mode. So what we're going to be doing, let me see how this looks over here. Perfect. Okay, it doesn't look very good right now to you, but now it will. What we're going to do is we're going to taxi on to Bravo, down here to Delta, cross over, and then head into the North Cargo area. Sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. Oh, what's going on here? Somebody chimed in before I get us rolling. How's POSCON? Busy? Actually, let me look before I get us taxiing again. Looking at the live map. 28 pilots, 2 ATC sectors, none over me. That gives you any idea there. That goes out to Chris Lewis, 255. All right, so I hope that helps you out there, Chris Lewis. We're going to be taxiing now. Probably have to. That's what I thought I had to do. All right, we got the taxi lights on. After landing is complete, oh, we got to be turning. My bad. I'm thinking I'm going straight ahead further. Now, just so you know, Chris Lewis, the traffic you're going to be seeing on final here, that's actually live traffic on X-Plane, not POSCON. But thanks for joining us. And if you like, you're more than welcome to hit the follow button if you like what you see. Understand if you don't. All right, so I'm going to play what the airline guys can't do. I'm going to get outside the plane and taxi her in. And if JD Drums is out there, you can put the fire trucks to bed. I didn't crash on the runway like last time. Although it wouldn't have surprised me. Alright, so here's taxiway Delta. Left turn, Clyde. And again, that's live traffic plug-in for X-Plane. The only reason I know that, I turned the labels off on them. So they can taxi through me, land on top of me, and not do anything to my plane. And he'll probably disappear here shortly. And what that's from, if you're not familiar with live traffic, when you go to FlightAware or Flight Radar 24, I think it's called, you see all that traffic. That's the data being produced here. Now, I don't have the funds for the fees to have the ADS, I think it's called, broadcast on here. That might take them to gate. I know, I got a plane on final. I'm moving. Come on, plane. Come on. All right, we are clear of the runways and heading to the north cargo ramp. And we also know FedEx does not have 747s. However, Atlas at times does do flights for them with the 747s and their 767 fleet from time to time when business peaks and FedEx says, hey, we need help. So guy over at FedEx Express Virtual created this for X-Planes 747 400 mod from Sparks. And while I'm taxiing here, anyone interested that's listening in, I'm going to be putting that in the chat room. And we'll go over it if you'd like when we get parked here. It's not complicated, but as you look at that page, you'll see coming down the right side releases. That release happened in November, and those are bugs they know about. So be expecting it to not look necessarily or act like mine. However, yes, the AI vehicle, overcorrected. The AI vehicles here are just as bad as Flight Simulator X, and probably prepared if they even have any. But anyway, as I was saying, that is as of November back in 2000 last year. Now, if you click where it says code, and then down at the bottom of that box that opens up download zip, that is the latest and greatest version of fixes corrected, new things added that they've added on. And folks, it's been like the page says, 2 years in making this to what it's like. If you try flying the default 747 and X-plane, it sucks. Just about as much as the MD-80, but the MD-80 sucks for other reasons too. But anyway, the 747 mod really does help it out, but there are still some problems with it. And they're working on them. I don't know if they're at the same feverish pace they were earlier, but they may be at a point where, it takes time. So I haven't updated mine since, gosh, I have to go back and look now. I forgot when I did. But, I update it from time to time, and, I mean, things are getting better with it, just some things aren't. And it's primarily with the FMS. So that's where a lot of my troubles are coming in, my problems. I know I should, okay, before y'all say it, I know the taxi light should have been turned off. And if I get into the cockpit in time, I'll do it. I won't. All right, being a BCF, we don't have to worry about the nose loading capability, so hang on a second. Clear the roadway, and there we go. All right, folks, we are in the blocks here at Atlanta Airport, Hartsfield Jackson to be exact. We're going to set the parking brake here for safety. All right, let's get into this shutdown procedure. Parking brake is now set, taxi lights. I was really hoping to get them before coming into the blocks, but, well, it was what it was. Hang on. Did I get them all off? Yeah, I did. It just seemed like they lit up at the end there. All right. Oh, I never turned the wing lights back on. Yeah, doesn't matter. All right, so taxi lights off, clocks stopped. Hang on a second. 2-hour, 20-minute flight, by the way, folks. And from pushback, 2-hour, 45 minutes. All right, electrical. Let's get up here and get us on the APU bus and APU bleed. And with that, let's go back down and go on. We'll do it this way. Kill the engines. Okay. Engines off. Now we just go back up top, kill the hydraulic pumps. Take those demands to off. Pump 4 to auxiliary. Fuel pumps will leave. The 2 aft pumps on number 2 and 3 pumps. Everything else goes off. Beacon can now shut. And anti-ice systems are all off. We leave the window heat on for fog purposes in between flights. Folks, we are at Hartsfield International. Here is, oh, not a good picture to go right to. I turned those off. Did I not turn those off, or did I turn them back on? That's exactly what I did. How did I do that? Who knows? It's been that kind of a flight, folks. All right, so we are on the ground, like I said here. We really hope you enjoyed the flight. What I would like to do real quick, let me make sure I have that capability. I'm going to go ahead and pull Sim Toolkit away. All right, and I'm going to real quick, since we talked about it. Okay, looking at the GitHub page. Let me get a real quick feel if my mouse is showing up. It should. Oop. Loves to click the wrong buttons. All right, so oh, I don't see it. Well, as you come down under About, you're going to see Release 1. That is the release. When you click into it, that will give you the release as of November 13th. Again, they know about these. Oh, that's why. Now it lights up. There we go. So right here, folks, then that'll give you a really good, pretty solid, and probably most of those fixes fixed that needed to be on that release. You could get with that. Now, the release I'm running, and I'm taking a look here. Ooh. This is telling you what's been updated within the last few days. I'm not seeing only things since what I've downloaded, which I'm checking real quick. So 2.4 would have been what, 16 days ago? So the only thing really is the aphids status announce textures. But anyway, this keeps you up to date of what they've done already. Their Discord channel will help you out too if you're having problems. But again, click code and download zip at the bottom. That'll give you what you see here to the latest and greatest version. There could be bugs in it. They don't know about it. Let them know. They'll get them, they'll put them in their bug list or however they do it. But anyway, that gives you the quick look at the GitHub. Folks, this has been a very long day for me on this. I have been trying to get airborne since 10 o'clock this morning. Problem after problem after problem kept cropping up that didn't get me airborne for almost 4 hours later. I was hoping to land take off or land when I took off. And now we're landing when I was hoping to maybe do the second flight. But we're not going to get that one, so that's okay. No big skin off our back. But anyway, we thank you all for joining us. If you liked what you've seen, hang on a second. Please, by all means, click follow. That's your easiest way to know when we're flying next. You'll get an email notification when I go live on Twitch to let you know. Those of you on YouTube, feel free to follow us over on the Twitch side of the house. Stand by, I'll get you that handle real quick. Well, he says that and clicks the wrong button like always. Downloads, nope. Sorry, folks. Like I said, it's been an extremely long and very trying day on me. So for Twitch, those of you guys, this is going to look weird. This is for Twitch. Feel free to come on, look me up. I got a bunch of videos right there. For those of you on Twitch watching this, my YouTube channel is, as he says cautiously, oh, wrong one, doggone it, I got to open up another one. Hang on a second, and copy, paste. And believe it or not, folks, when you see this one, I'm going to give you one more, and that'll be our Facebook page. Now, if you're already on the Twitch page, it's there in that little box. Click Facebook, take you to our page. This will take you this link to our YouTube page, plus on the About at Twitch. But folks, we do appreciate you all coming on board and flying with us here at Flying with Mike. Each and every one of you are very valued members. If you're interested and want to join us on Discord, bringing that link up for you now. All you got to do is click on it. Feel free. We are trying to set up a family, if you will, of followers. trying to set up a community basically. And we really, would value you to join. But I know, like me, I'm with a whole bunch of Discord communities, so I understand if you don't. But folks, we really do appreciate you. The new people that came on today, like Minor Real M Games, thank you for following the channel, and also uh, Dave, and please forgive me if I'm getting it wrong. My glasses seem to be off for some reason. That or I am just cross-eyed today. Dave, ILIX10, also followed us today. Boy, guys, thank you. Thank you for following us. We do appreciate it. Y'all have a great rest of your Saturday and enjoy your Sunday. I'll be out at an airport working in public safety, several flights plus whatever else comes our way. But that is that. So y'all have a great Saturday night. Be safe. Arrive alive at wherever you're going, and we'll see you. Hopefully on Monday we'll fire up again and fly somewhere. But next time we're airborne, we look forward to flying with you. And again, from the cockpit here, thank you for flying with Mike.